Oh, it's been an incredible journey. Black fashion has evolved in a vibrant tapestry that reflects cultural shifts and social movements, proving it's way more than just clothes.
Bruce. And I'm Glen. And we're Bruce Glen. And we're the designers of Bruce Glen. Black designers have shaped the very language of fashion. In luxury fashion, we've brought elegance, we've brought craftsmanship, we've brought storytelling that pushes beyond tradition.
My name is Kyle Bryan, founder of Function Global, a luxury partnership agency based here in New York. There have been a lot of events that have shaped how Black fashion is made and how Black fashion is seen throughout history. Starting with the Harlem Renaissance in the 1930s, we had visionaries like Zora Neale Hurston and Langston Hughes create a multidisciplinary community around music, poetry, art, and fashion. It gave us jazz. Jazz culture gave us luxurious gowns and fabulous zoot suits that erased the notions that the country held for Black life. It showed Black glamour and Black luxury at its finest and showed our sophistication and artistry during that time.
Hi, my name is Gene Charles, founder and owner of the clothing brand Alani Moon. I feel like Black fashion has evolved from a tool of resilience and self-expression during slavery and the Harlem Renaissance to a driving force in global style today, from zoot suits and dashikis to hip-hop streetwear, and now designers like Virgil Abloh and Telfar who blend culture and high fashion while still breaking industry standards. Black fashion has went from survival to self-expression.
We've gone from being overlooked to setting the tone for culture across the board, and not just in streetwear and music, but in luxury as well. That influence is undeniable, and it's actually really beautiful to see it being recognized.
Who are some Black fashion pioneers people don't think about or talk about enough today?
In the 40s, we had the zoot suit. Think oversized and bold, a statement of individuality during wartime.
Designers like Ann Lowe proved long before the world even acknowledged it that Black creativity and Black designers belonged in the most exclusive spaces and places.
After the Harlem Renaissance, we had the 1960s and the Civil Rights Movement. Our leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X used their tailored suits and their tailored outfits to really show confidence and demand respect.
Then there's Elizabeth Keckley, who rose from slavery to become Mary Todd Lincoln's personal dressmaker, earning her a place of respect among Washington's elite.
Stephen Burrows, shirt that I'm wearing today, pioneered the rippling lettuce edge hem on stretch jersey and popularized slinky wrap and tie jersey dresses.
Pivotal in shaping the Fun City disco scene of the 70s in New York. He also participated in the legendary 1973 Battle of Versailles in Paris, which helped establish American fashion as a global force. His contributions not only influenced fashion trends, but also opened doors for future generations of designers, making his legacy truly significant in the industry.
Mildred Blount, Hollywood millionaire, and the first Black member of the Motion Picture Costumers Union. Notable film hats include Gone with the Wind in 1939, which she was not credited for, Backstreet in 1941 with miniature hats, and at the Easter Parade in 1948, where contemporary coverage credits her work for Judy Garland. In 1957, a mentor whose impact spans generations. Jay Jackson, overlooked American, who became creative director at Jean-Louis Chereur in Paris. First American and first Black person to head a French couture house.
Another notable pioneer who collaborated with iconic fashion houses such as Yves Saint Laurent and Christian Dior. His impact stretched from Paris to Hollywood, including a standout moment when he designed a suit for Annie Lennox at the 1984 Grammy.
After that, we had our Black Panthers in all Black leather and afros. They showed defiance. Black fashion has always been rooted in protest. In the 1970s, hip hop was born. Black youth here in New York created hip hop and created hip hop style. Little did they know that hip hop would become a worldwide phenomenon in just a few years. Black youth popularized sneaker culture, oversized silhouettes, and gold jewelry. This also trickled all the way up to Paris, into Karl Lagerfeld at the House of Chanel. At fall 1991, his ready-to-wear collection was purely based on hip-hop culture. This cemented hip-hop as true Americana fashion.
A breakout of Star of the Versailles in 1973, Arthur McGee, first known Black designer to run a 7th Avenue design studios. Zelda Wynn Valdes, architect of mid-century glamour, who dressed Eartha Kitt and Joyce Bryant, defining bodycon elegance long before it was mainstream.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Marty McFresh. I'm a self-made celebrity wardrobe stylist. Y'all know I'm known for the last name McFresh. It's a play off of Marty McFly. So let's take it back to 1980s. Of course, we gotta mention Dapper Dan. 1980s. Pioneered luxury fashion using their logos. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Fendi. They wasn't even thinking about selling to our clientele, much less alone having us be the impact that pushed the brand. His impact was everywhere. Music videos, all through New York City, the hottest of the hottest artists were rocking Dapper Dan luxury pieces.
Let me tell you, the 90s is my personal fashion era, which I call the golden era of hip hop, where we had the likes of Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, to name a few. It was a special time in fashion.
People I would say inspire my design ethic or my work ethic, let's say, I would say Virgil Abloh.
Who took streetwear to a luxury space and made it come down the runway. We rock it, then it becomes hot. Virgil made sure to have mainstream media know that this aesthetic is going to be pumped down your runway for Louis Vuitton. Louis, the LV out here with the baggy fit? Sheesh!
I'm Jennifer Sinigal Cornelius, founder and creative director of Born to Rome, founded in 2019. A pioneer in fashion who I love and admire is June Ambrose. She was styling majority of the music videos in the 90s and 2000s in a way that completely shifted how hip hop looked. But she just doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, as a pioneer.
In streetwear, our culture and our creativity gave birth to what is now a global industry. The rhythm, the rebellion, and the self-expression of Black culture is streetwear. Across streetwear and luxury, Black design has brought an unapologetic freedom that continues to inspire the world. True.
Black designers have always been the pulse of streetwear, which is now fused with luxury. You know, if you think about it, what started on the block actually ended up on the runway in Paris. In tailoring, we're seeing a shift in athletes and entertainers trusting Black designers and stylists just to create pieces that, you know, respect their culture and their bodies, which hasn't actually been a fit for those traditional Eurocentric silhouettes. So in a nutshell, you know, we're redefining luxury through inclusivity and individuality.
Karl Kani and Cross Colors defined the hip hop scene. Baggy fits, super extreme colorways and color blocking. Some people was rocking their clothes backwards, okay? They were outside before outside was an outside situation. I remember seeing Tupac, Biggie, Heavy D, everyone was trying to fight over this Karl Kani brand with the little script letters across your chest, you know?
You had artists like Outkast and Cameron, Missy, Busta, who, you know, June styled all of these people, and of course you have Pharrell, but these people weren't afraid to push boundaries with colors and silhouettes or just pure creativity. And that mix of visionary like June with artists willing to take real risks laid the foundation for what we now see hip hop driving global fashion instead of following it.
In the 1990s, we had the AIDS epidemic, which wiped out all of our Black designers as we know it. Even though our designers were lost, the white industry memorialized their designers like Perry Ellis and Holston, and leaving out our visionaries like Patrick Kelly and Willie Smith out of our textbooks. Them being left out of our textbooks shows the systemic racism that Black designers and Black fashion have always had to face.
We must highlight Patrick Kelly famous for his vibrant designs that celebrated his Black heritage and challenged racial stereotypes in fashion.
Who knows if Willie Smith and Patrick Kelly were still alive today, what kind of generational knowledge they could have passed down to our leaders like Sergio Hudson, Christopher John Rogers.
Now let's talk about current forces in luxury fashion. You have Laquan Smith, Telfar, Pyre Moss, shout out to Kirby. Telfar redefined the accessory. He made a Bushwick Birkin. A Bushwick Birkin, only we could do something like that. Had everybody and their mother, every race, wanted to cop his bag.
We get more recognition by telling stories on our own terms, aligning with athletes, artists, and leaders who amplify our work, and demanding seats at those decision-making tables. For me, working with athletes is powerful because they're global icons, and when they wear Black designers, it shifts the perception of what luxury looks like.
I truly believe that more recognition starts with consistent visibility and positioning Black designers exactly where we belong, and that's on the biggest stages in fashion. So that means that our work needs to show up in Paris, Milan, New York, as well as the shelves of major luxury stores, and in the conversations that define the industry, and not just in special diversity spotlights, but we need to be part of the everyday language of fashion.
How can Black designers get more recognition in both luxury and mainstream markets? I think it's a few things. The first is to remain authentic and genuine. Black people and Black fashion has always shown up unapologetically and always as themselves, and that's what the world appreciates us for.
I think one of the biggest obstacles Black designers still face is access, and I find it so troubling that this is still a relevant conversation today. Whether that's access to capital, distribution, or the networks that really move fashion forward, talent has never really been the issue for us. There's plenty of creativity, but without the same resources or people opening these doors, that talent doesn't scale at the same pace. What really needs to change is the infrastructure, consistent investment, real mentorship, and seats at the table where decisions are made. Otherwise, we're always working twice as hard for half the visibility.
The industry needs to invest in us, not just when it's trendy, but consistently through mentorship, funding, and partnerships that give us staying power.
And I think the last thing is to identify which Fortune 500 companies share your values, share your initiatives, and share your priorities. Contact them, pitch them, create a long lead partnership with them, because at the end of the day, all that we need are partnerships and collaborations in order to function.
Communities have always been incredibly creative, resourceful, and innovative. We've been reusing and repurposing since the beginning. There's this running joke about our reuse of the cookie tin container, like my grandmother kept her sewing supplies in hers, and our reuse of margarine containers for leftovers, and the list goes on and on.
More recently, we had the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor during the COVID-19 pandemic. These images and videos reverberated across the world, and it forced Fortune 500 companies to reckon with their diversity and their inclusion. Finally, dollars are being thrown at Black fashion and at Black designers. I can speak from experience. During that time, we nearly tripled our business purely because these companies wanted to immerse themselves into the Black lifestyle and show that they supported Black fashion. That day is done.
Sustainability is so important because for us, it's not just about protecting the planet, it's about protecting our people and our communities.
I think the future of sustainable fashion has to include more Black faces, more Black designers, more Black voices and decision makers, both on the runway and behind the scenes.
Black culture has been imitated endlessly without credit or acknowledgement. We see a future where Black designers continue to lead in joy, responsibility, and openness. Where our influence is not only seen, but it's respected and celebrated.
And when Black designers are copied, it's more than just losing credit. It really strips away our creativity, our recognition, and our identity. It reinforces this idea that we don't fully own ourselves, including our ideas. We have a really painful history of our bodies being stolen, our labor, our culture being stolen, which makes the theft of our designs even more insidious. It's disrespectful, it's denial of humanity, especially because of how much of an influence Black culture has on the world.
It's okay to be inspired, but make it your own. Don't be a carbon copy.
Social media absolutely makes copying worse. The platforms reward what's trending, and so this incentivizes people to copy each other, whether that's a format, a sound, or a look. And in fashion, this creates a culture where originality is lost and people get stuck in these algorithmic bubbles, which only reinforce the same ideas.
Social media is like a double-edged sword in the fashion world. While it sparks creativity and helps unique styles shine, it also cranks up the volume on copying. With trends going viral on platforms like Instagram and TikTok, we see a flood of replicas that can overshadow true originality.
The first time I had my design stolen was actually a bittersweet moment. I looked at it more so as a cup half full versus a cup half empty, because despite how small of a brand I was, to me it showed that I had eyes on me and that I was competition to another brand bigger than me. At the time I had just learned how to sew, and within a week I noticed that Urban Outfitters posted it, and honestly I was more honored than mad, because I knew that put the gas in me for me to drive my way to the top.
Deseri, I've seen how powerful it is when our handbags are placed right next to other luxury brands. What it does is it validates the artistry, but even more than that, it shows the world that Black-owned luxury has a rightful and permanent seat at the table. But I also think that media plays a huge role too. Black excellence should be highlighted all year round, not just during 1 month or one issue. And when we make that shift, Black luxury then stops being the exception and it becomes a celebrated, essential part of fashion.
I think what it boils down to is ownership. When you own your culture and its influences, there's really no need for surface level DEI initiatives because the power and the representation is there. And it's yours.
What excites me the most is that this moment isn't about short-term visibility. It's about building legacy, ownership, and brands that have staying power. And Black fashion isn't just influencing the industry anymore. We're shaping the future of it, and that's incredibly powerful.
To sum up, Black fashion has always been shaped by reinvention, resistance, and cultural pride.
And I think 2026 is only going to take us higher. We've gone from being overlooked to setting the tone for culture across the board, and not just in streetwear and music, but in luxury as well. That influence is undeniable, and it's actually really beautiful to see it being recognized.
Black designers didn't just contribute to fashion, they reshaped the whole industry's DNA.
And even when it comes to fashion, when we talk about hand-me-downs or this idea of buying clothing a few sizes too big so they last longer. So what was once a means of necessity or even survival has now turned into this oversized trend that the fashion industry has largely adopted.
Black fashion has long modeled what it means to welcome the world in. And we see a future where that spirit continues to lead the industry into a place where the world is more just, more joyful, and more humane.
Sustainability is not new to us. To be Black living in America is to live sustainably.
It's our history of making something from nothing and reimagining what already exists and creating beauty and longevity from limited resources.
That resourcefulness is sustainability at its core.